I never been one of them people that could be comfortable being careless. Some people, I noticed the quality that they don't have that, they just don't have the I guess the pressure on themselves. You know, they just have a little bit of a comfort that I don't have. I don't feel comfortable unless I know I went above and beyond with my preparation. The things that possibly could happen, if I ain't take real steps to prevent those things, I'm not comfortable. I can't walk around, you know, charismatic and happy. Nah, I gotta make sure, you know, we setting up some type of wealth, because we might have a little bag right now, but we know a lot of people had a bag right now and they ended up bad. We got a core business, which is for me music, but then it's about building an enterprise around it. And I think, you know, that's what we see Jay-Z has done. That's what we see Puff has done. The music don't become how you pay the bills. It's a lot of pressure off of it. You got other things bringing in income. You can make music solely as an artist.
You know, I was always a hustler. So when I talk to a young dude, I'm like, bro, my advice to you is gonna be money advice. I don't gonna get philosophical,
right.
religious advice. Bro, get you some money, you're gonna feel different.
Straight up.
You might even, all that other advice I could have gave you, this the short version. You know, get you a couple dollars, man, you're gonna feel different. You know, I be juggling. You know what I'm saying? I juggle a lot. I play a lot of positions. You know what I mean? So, my mentality when I do start to be like, damn, this is a lot. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, you know, that's what it's supposed to feel like. If you are going toward what the vision look like, and that's like greatness. That's, you know, on multiple levels. That's the vision that I'm working toward. So I'm like, I just think about that. Like, this shit ain't supposed to feel, you know, comfortable. It's supposed to be uncomfortable. It's supposed to stretch you. It's supposed to be a burden to a degree. And you gotta, you know, wrap your mind around that and accept it and embrace it. And you catch some wisdom off of that. You know what I mean?
Words is powerful, you know? And I think that the ability to articulate, you know, you can really impact people. I think as human beings, everybody has a natural gift and a natural passion, but then you go outside and you get influenced and you feel pressure from what's going on outside. And so, you know, I read one time, like, would you rather be at war with yourself and at peace with the world, or at peace with yourself and at war with the world? And that was powerful for me.
When you don't have resources, you in survival mode. You know, so being in survival mode automatically rules out a lot of things, because you don't care about morality, because you don't experience morality. You experience, you know, the need to survive. You don't experience, you know, fairness. You don't experience planning for the future. You just experience my ribs touching. You know what I mean? And it's better me than you. And, you know, it's a survival instinct that kick in. So I think once you get out of the survival mode, your morals come back closer to your daily decision making. You start thinking about what's right and what do I believe in. But until you get out of survival mode, you ain't got time to be worrying about right and wrong. You worrying about bottom line. You know what I mean? By any means necessary. So I think that economics is the answer. Empowering people economically is how you really, really impact. But I don't know if it's about dropping a bag of money in the hood. I think it's about impacting culture in a way that, you know, the mentality changes. I couldn't make a blanket statement to just the young people doing dirt. I don't think that's honest. You know what I mean? It's context for everything. Nothing happens in a vacuum, you know? But I would say that, you know what I mean, you're gonna lay in the bed you make. You're not gonna get away with nothing in terms of the energy. You know what I mean? You might beat the camera or the police. They might not catch you for what you're doing, but the energy is always gonna return to you. So when you just living in this cycle of being negative all day and just putting out negativity and that's the only energy you putting out, it's gonna return to you in a different form than you put it out in. So I would just say, you know, master your energy. Do your best to master your energy and what you put out, you know, and unless that's what you want, you know, because you entitled to whatever you want to create, whatever experience you want to create for yourself. But if you're tired of that shit, adjust the energy. You know what I mean? As best you can, adjust what you wake up thinking and what you say, and then lastly what you do. And that's not an easy thing to do because it's such a pressure in these areas to just go by the way things are. But, you know, it's a lot of examples that you could look up to as young kids in the streets. You could look up to Kendrick Lamar. Not the words, forget what he's saying, just where he came from. I seen him, you could YouTube him freestyling in the Nickerson Garden Projects. You could look up to a Nip Hussle. You know, you could look up to any one of these guys that came from this hopelessness and you know, wiggled their way through it. You know what I mean? And you could reverse engineer what they did. You know, look at the steps, what happened.
Obviously having a passion for music since day one, the dream and the vision was to, you know, start a label and start a music movement, a music brand. And then just thinking like, as a chess player, you know, assuming that we would have success in music, the next thing became, dang, what will we do next? And just looking at the blueprint that people like Jay and Puff laid, we like want to, you know, offer our opinion into fashion. Yeah, so the actual brand, the name of the brand obviously is the Marathon, and it just stands for endurance. It stands for staying down. It stands for like not quitting, accepting the ups and downs of whatever game you commit yourself to and riding it out, you feel me? Because, you know, that's the reality of, you know, success or greatness, that it come with a roller coaster ride, you know? So I think that anybody could apply the Marathon concept to what they do, if it's sports, if it's fashion, if it's music, if it's hustling, whatever, you're on a marathon, you know? So to make that the basis of our, you know, fashion line, I look at it like, you know, we honor the people that ain't quit. We honor the people that stayed down. All my original goals, I met them. I had goals as somebody coming out the street. So I didn't have a hell of a entertainment set of goals. I never wanted to win a Grammy. That was not my goal coming out the street. Them is music goals now that I'm in the music game. That was never my goal. I never thought about selling 1 million records. I thought about, you know, doing something legit to make my money and being able to, you know, not worry about when I heard the helicopter late at night thinking they was coming to kick the door down. Right. You know, I read an article that Joel Santana made $15,000 a show. I don't know if it was true or not, but I'm like, damn, you can make $15,000 a show? That's how I was thinking at that time. Like, you know, what we did as teenagers to make $15,000, you get a lot of years for it.
Absolutely.
So, you know, you could go do a tour where you make that every night, and then I remember looking at every state, like it's 50 states. If I could sell 1,000 units in each state, indie, at $8 a unit, you know what I mean? I could make somewhere near $500,000 if I just figure out how to do that. And that was my little entry level goal. So, you know, we established and accomplished them things early, and I had to redevelop my goals. Now that I was in the game and I learned niggas get $1 million a show, niggas get $500,000 a show. I didn't know that. I didn't know that, you know, I knew, but I didn't think that it was realistic that you could really sell millions and millions of records and become a global brand. So as I became exposed to these situations, met these people that performed on that level, and like, you know, you ain't no smarter than me. You know what I'm saying? You just in a position. You just, you know, you sitting in a space where you can execute on that level. You know what I mean? I started reestablishing what my goals were. One thing I noticed about myself, when I like, I think, you know, thoughts is powerful in all facets. Cause even my career, even my life, you know, things end up turning out exactly how I visualized them. Not in this time frame I expected. You know what I'm saying? You always want shit to happen overnight. But, you know, I just had clear visions. You know, obviously outside of my grill, I just mean in music and hustling and just how I viewed myself as an adult when I was a young dude coming up. And your thoughts powerful. That shit, you know, come to life if you stick to your script. Creative destruction, a risky business of going against the grain. The reasonable man adapts himself to the world. The unreasonable one persists in trying to adapt the world to himself. Therefore, all progress depends on the unreasonable man. It's radicals, you know what I'm saying?